It's being reported on Boxing Scene that Kell Brook's next opponent will be announced this coming Monday, and that it's likely to be Antonin Decarie. Antonin Decarie. I've probably pronounced that incorrectly. I'm not going to pretend he's someone I'm overly familiar with. Bit of background, he's from Quebec, Canada. Boxrec have him as the 21 ranked welterweight in the world. 32 years old, record of 31 wins with 2 losses. The guys he's lost against, Louis Abreku and Suleiman Mbaye. So we're not talking about a guy here who's fought the premium competition within the welterweight division. If I scroll through the guy's record of people he's beaten, there isn't anyone who stands out to me as a top 10, or to be honest, even a top 25 welterweight. He's clearly quite feather-fisted. Of his 31 wins, only 10 have come by way of knockout. So, for me, this is quite a questionable fight. In fact, actually, let me use stronger language. This isn't a questionable fight. This is a terrible fight. The water at welterweight is very, very deep. There is no shortage whatsoever of top caliber opposition who currently do not have a belt at welterweight. Just to name a few: Keith Thurman, Bradley, Guerrero, Alexander, Porter, Marquez, Bundu, Malignaggi. That there are so many big name fighters who can fight around 147 pounds, who people would love to see Kell Brook fight. Why on earth would we want to see him fight this guy? I mean, he's just not a name that the average boxing fan is going to be familiar with. Beating him does nothing for Kell Brook's resume and record whatsoever. You'd certainly rate this guy, in my opinion, below Senchenko, below Sean Porter. There are Kell Brook's already beaten better opposition than him, in my opinion. Why do we need to see Kell Brook in with a guy who's never really fought anyone at the highest level, who can't really punch back? For me, it's very weak. I understand that they were initially looking to make a fight with Kell's mandatory, Jojo Dan, and to do that fight before it was due in order to sort of get it out of the way. Now, my understanding is what's happened is that fight's fallen apart due to disagreement over financial terms. The problem with this means that Kell Brook takes care of business with this opponent and then would have to fight Jojo Dan anyway, 3 or 4 months down the line. Now, for a start, that rules out Kell's opportunity to fight other big names in the summer or in the autumn. If he's got a mandatory to take care of, he can't be in the Mayweather Stakes for the September fight. He can't fight Amir Khan at Wembley. All of that goes out the window if he's got to fight Jojo Dan. Let's be honest, that Jojo Dan fight is also very uninspiring. So we could have a situation where Kell Brook, by the end of 2015, has fought Antonin Decarie and Jojo Dan. This is not the kind of opposition that's going to get him on the pound for pound list, that's going to get him the fights against big name opposition. And I don't understand why Eddie Hearn would even be considering this type of opponent, given how many viable contenders there must be out there. With regard to Jojo Dan, I understand that he's asking for a lot of money. It's a fight that he's going to lose. It's his one big shot. I understand he's going to want to sort of, make some cash out of it. He also has probably heard about Eddie Hearn talking about how much he'd pay Amir Khan, heard about Eddie Hearn calling out Floyd Mayweather for Kell Brook, and he probably thinks that there's big money in fighting Kell Brook. But Eddie Hearn should be a bit careful. I think he should pay Jojo Dan what he wants, because when the mandatory comes about, if they can't agree on financial terms, it's going to go to purse bids. And if that happens, you're going to get the likes of Frank Warren bidding and trying to host a Kell Brook title defence on Box Nation. So Eddie Hearn can't allow that to happen, obviously. I think it would be far better for Kell, far better for the fans, if they paid Jojo Dan a little bit more, even if it was at a loss, got that out of the way, and freed up Kell Brook for a massive fight in the summer. Let him have the potential to fight Floyd Mayweather, let him have the potential to fight Amir Khan. Don't sort of, keep him busy with mandatories. This opponent really isn't up to much. And I'll tell you what, I know the plan is for a sort of split pay-per-view with Kell Brook fighting in the UK and then Carl Frost fighting in the USA. But this particular fight, Antonin Decarie, or however you pronounce it, that is not a pay-per-view fight. I don't think there's going to be too much debate on that either from boxing fans. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Who would you like Kell Brook to fight?